Hello, we're recording. Hola, Rachel.
Hi. Hola.
Hi. Taglish po tayo ngayon for our audience.
Okay.
Kasi Facebook audience. So, Taglish po. Hello, I'm Chef Rob Pengson. Introduce yourself, please po.
I'm Rachel from Alicante, Spain.
Alicantes. Saan po yan?
Yes.
Spain?
Yes.
Or
On
ako
the coast of
mag-Tagalog, ma'am?
Spain. Pwede naman.
Wow. Okay, she speaks Tagalog.
Pwede
Oh,
naman.
excellent. So, how is Spain?
It's sunny today. Thank
Well, it's
God.
supposed to be cold, no?
Now we're on spring. A little less cold, I suppose, but normally it's the coldest during spring.
Okay. Oh, nice. Anong
Yes.
papag-usapan natin ngayon? It's episode 1. And we want to make a podcast that makes sense, but then our topic is mostly about our work
Mm-hmm.
and your desire to set up an events business here in the Philippines.
Yes, it's easier there kasi.
Oh, so si Rachel wants to put up a catering and events company here in the Philippines. Kasi, yeah, you share your master chef experience. And yeah, can you share your experience? Quick.
So I attended the boot camp for 3 days, and after that, it's a sales boot camp. So after 3 days, I started to sell. I was selling weddings and baptisms. At first, I was happy with my first sale. I think it was a baby shower, 30,000. I was happy na.
Yeah,
Not
that's pretty good.
knowing,
That's pretty good.
yeah, not knowing that after attending the boot camp, since I applied everything I've learned, I was able to close the 300,000 event.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
remember
so the
that one.
jump was high. So before the 300K, I started to increase to like 50, 80, 100. I was happy. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, of course. Huh? Oh, and then I believe
200.
You're coming back for the no, before the months,
Yeah,
and
in
so
July.
parang you're probably going to have a very busy second half of the year in the Philippines again. No,
Yeah.
sana, sana all.
Sana
That's
all.
good. So no, so what was your biggest challenge when you started selling events? Since your background, can you share your background is in beauty? No, how many beauty stores did you manage at one point?
Seven.
7 beauty stores
Seven,
and
seven
salons.
beauty stores. Yes.
What kind of? But what's the technical term for that? Beauty store.
Aesthetic. It's an aesthetic clinic. So, um, we owned an aesthetic clinic in Spain. What we
Mm.
do, since of course aesthetic, we have on-call doctors to apply the injections to the clients. Ako, I cannot, of course, and also my staff couldn't. So what we do is
Because it's
our
illegal if you're not a
services.
doctor, no?
Oh yes, it's illegal. I think kahit
I
dyan
think
it's
in the
illegal.
Philippines you're allowed to do certain things even if you're not a doctor. I'm not sure.
Here it's not. It's not. Hindi
Yeah,
pwede. So yeah, from beauty sector to F&B, it's a big jump.
yeah. But your F&B business is here in the Manila.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
All right, all right. So do you cook or you're planning to cook?
Planning to cook. I'm not a pro in the
Oh,
kitchen, but I look forward to it. I look forward to learning, enrolling in Alianza.
oh. So you're really gonna take the Alianza course
Yes,
in culinary
culinary.
arts. Oh,
Culinary
sige.
arts.
Strict yung mga teachers dun, ha?
Talaga ba?
No, strict sila. They're very. It's all about the business in Alianza. So
Good.
no, but it's fun. I mean, the courses are fun and structured. It's not naman like Gordon Ramsay Hell's Kitchen strict.
I
Pero
know. Talaga.
definitely,
That will traumatize me.
right? It'll traumatize anyone.
Yeah,
It
but
traumatized me kasi yun yung, that's how I started eh. Yun yung naumpisan ko when I was training as a cook abroad. Ganyan pa yung
oh my
panahon before.
gosh, they really yell.
Oh, they more than you. If they don't emotionally and verbally abuse you or physically abuse in a small way that's still acceptable.
Oh my gosh,
Parang
really?
yeah, it wasn't a proper reprimand. That was the old way of doing things. Siyempre, you do that now, it cannot work.
No, no,
But then,
no.
So lucky our our young chefs don't have to go through that because it was quite painful for me to experience such things. Pero this talk is about you. I titled the
Okay.
episode R&R, Robin Rachel. Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so what attracts you to the events business?
I like helping people achieve their dream, for example, their dream wedding reception or their dream occasion, because it's a special day for them. It's in our hands to make it memorable.
Mm.
You know, from the food, from the venue to the planning to the execution, everything. So that's that attracts me most. Kasi here in Spain, in Europe particularly, I'm not generalizing, ha.
Mm.
Maybe they're not as warm as us when we plan events, when we execute events, they're more like transactional. Walang
Oh,
personal
yeah, I
touch.
understand. The Filipinos can be quite warm. Not
Yeah,
always, but they can be.
they can be. So I want to
Oh,
be that percentage of can be warm.
okay.
Yeah.
And then, so do you see there's a big opportunity in events? Is that why you like it? Because you had
There
experienced big
is.
sales.
There's opportunity and
Pero
there's
nakakapagod siya.
there's
Ha?
always nakakapagod. You don't just work for 8 hours eh. You work
Yeah.
beyond that.
Beyond that.
Beyond
Pero
that.
for the bigger events, especially the weddings, it's sulit.
It is sulit because you can be pagod for more than 8 hours, but the compensation is worth it.
Maganda,
Especially
yeah.
when you see your guests happy and if they verbally tell you how satisfied and happy they are with the service. That's
It brings away the pagod of the work,
yes,
di ba?
yes.
Yeah.
And it's not
Oh, that's
always
good.
about the money, you know. It's
Yes,
hearing
pero
how value.
since this is we're trying to be a business channel, it has to be. We have to talk about money,
Yeah,
di ba? So the
that's
money can
part
be
of
quite
it.
good, especially if you develop enough cadence and tuloy-tuloy the events, di ba?
Yes, yes. And
And
everyone, I mean, every day there's weddings and baptisms that's happening.
mm-hmm.
So
So
it
you
doesn't
tap
stop.
that. It's a market that never ends, di ba? In
It's
fact,
an all
it's a
year round
grow.
market.
It's a all year round market. It's a growing market. Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So, what's your most popular food that you serve in your events? How do you handle the food since you're not basically a trained chef yet? So, how do you handle that?
I taste test the food before they roll it out. I have to
Mm-hmm.
taste every dish that they will serve. Make
Mm-hmm.
sure na it's not too salty or walang lasa, something like that. So
Okay.
every dish before it goes
Yes.
out of the kitchen, I have to taste it
Okay.
and
Thank you
try
for
that.
hiring our Alianza students, by the way.
Oh yeah, they're good. They're good. In
Uh,
hiring their
well,
students,
magaling
magagaling
teacher
sila.
nila. Hmm. Oh, we tried.
Good.
They're good kids. They're good kids. Most of them work really hard. And they have a good attitude about them. But thanks for hiring them. It's no,
And
you don't have to.
they look like they're
But
having fun actually in the kitchen. It's probably that's why that made me that convinced me to enroll
mm,
in Alianza because seeing them work in the kitchens, really enjoying it,
yeah,
applying what they learned.
hmm yeah, for sure. And then I think it's also when you get good feedback from the guests. Talaga, that's really one of the best parts of the job. Eh.
Oh yes.
Kasi
Yes.
syempre as chefs kami, we don't like the makarinig kami ng mga bad feedback. Kasi pag may bad feedback, hindi siya masaya. And then, syempre, parang pagod ka na. Malungkot ka pa. Di ba? So,
Cute.
so yung maganda doon is pag yung, the guests give good feedback, sulit talaga yung pagod. It's nice to see. And then you become part of their special day. Kasi, syempre, I
Yeah.
was there also. I was there officiating the kitchen. Di ba? So,
Yes.
it was nice to see that you working with the chefs and then the guests were happy, especially the big baptism, the weddings, yung mga ganyan. It's really nice. It's an amazing feeling, isn't it? Not.
It is. It is. They love the food.
Okay, so ano naman yung hirap na hirap ka sa catering and events that you're hoping that you can do better as you gain more experience?
I guess it's anticipating things that we can't really anticipate, like being open to it. Like sometimes kasi, for example, I had one client, she wasn't able to communicate well with me, the suppliers that will be coming in.
Okay.
So that day,
Don't
I
no
was kind of
mentioning names.
bombarded with suppliers like all over the place, 'di ba?
Yeah, yeah. So I guess that one should have been in the catering agreement or the contract, and it
Yes.
when
There's
it was
technical things that I still have
parang
to
loopholes
learn.
that sometimes the clients will try to circumvent pa rin eh. Di ba?
Kasi
Di ba?
and also one thing I noticed, the
Mm.
big paying clients, they're the most that's easy to please. They
Yeah,
don't ask for much.
yeah. But then if it's the ones with the lesser budgets can be quite sometimes are more difficult, ba?
Demanding, yes,
Mm.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. I guess they're because they're trying to squeeze as much value as out of the caterer as possible. So
Yeah,
parang yun talaga, di ba may kasabihan is parang if you want cheap results, you pay cheap prices. It goes without saying naman talaga. Pero syempre,
yes.
everyone still needs good value. Kahit papaano,
Mhm.
still good value pa rin.
Yes,
Oo.
agree.
So what's next? What's happening there in Spain right now?
Holy Week.
Holy
There's
Week was also
something.
in Spain.
Yes, yes. They celebrate it for the whole week may happening. There's
Mm.
procession happening even
Okay,
during
cool.
the wee hours of the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's coming up. That's next week
Okay.
or after
Well,
next
that's
week.
good.
Yeah.
All right. So aside from our catering talk and our events talk, we're talking about culinary arts, catering, and the business of food. Because that's what consumes so many chefs and people that want to get into food, diba? Syempre, it's for career. Eventually, we're more concerned with how to create value in our catering and events. Pero what else pa ba? Yun yung tanong. What other ideas do you have that you think you'd like to pursue when it comes to food or events business here in Manila? And why?
And why?
And
I
why?
guess it's um proper costing.
Okay.
So when I create packages, I don't want to create packages and at the same time, there's not really any margin of profit to it,
Of course. Oh.
right? So also we have to pattern the package. I mean, the food that will be offered in the package. Sometimes kasi you cannot offer expensive food for a cheaper price, and sometimes it happens, especially for beginners like me.
Mm.
So
Yeah, yeah. Kasi sometimes
simple
masarap nga yung
ideas.
food, happy yung client.
Yeah.
Ano ba?
Wala ka namang
Masarap,
margin of profit.
masarap yung food, happy yung client. But at the end of the day, parang your what you make is quite gets smaller and smaller.
Yes.
'Di ba? If your
Yes.
costing is not right. And that's 100%. Kasi in my experience rin, you can give good value to the client if you really understand the cost structure of the meals, how
Mm-hmm.
much food to serve. Whereas kung masarap ka nga lang magluto, dinadan mo sa plating, maganda lahat, my gosh, you can end up, some people end up like just breaking even on an event, and that's not good.
No.
No, no,
And
because
it's
all of that
good.
work, I think that the target for events is really 50%. Diba? If
Yeah.
you're gonna sell an event for 100,000, for example, you want to make 50,000 in margin because the food is somewhere around 25 to 30, and then the mobilization, the stuff, the people. So you should play around, I think, on around 40 to 60 margin.
Yes. Yes.
'Di ba? And then
Especially when it's
especially
offsite
if it's
catering.
pag offsite catering, syempre it's more on the 40% margin. Pero if
I
it's in your
think
own
in
place, diba? If it's in your own place, you noticed, I think you shared with me, diba? You made a lot of good value. And
yes,
that's why your dream, diba? Your dream is to open an events venue.
yes.
Ah, yeah. Event venues are great in the Philippines. Yeah, excellent. Anything else to add to that?
Also the technicalities of the catering contract. It's like it's very important. Without a catering contract, there's no event because catering contract will protect the caterer.
Okay. Example.
For example, there's undisclosed food allergies and someone had an allergic attack with the food, 'di ba?
Oh.
So kung wala kang catering contract that states that, yari ka, lagot.
Totoo.
And
Oh.
also takeaways. The incidents, like if you don't really advise takeaways, pero si client is insistent in takeaways, so
Yeah.
there should be stipulated in the contract also that whatever happens after the catering event, if there's takeaways, we're not like liable to it. Of course, we have to protect ourselves. What I'm really trying to say about having a catering contract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so restaurant. Gusto mo magbukas ng restaurant sa Pinas?
I think I'm happy with catering and events for
Okay, kasi
now
sige, that's good. Kasi most
because
people get into food, restaurant yung number one na sinasabi. Eh. How come you're not so keen on restaurants?
I've met some of I have restaurateur friends,
Mm-hmm.
and for example, they open the restaurant and it's trending. How long can you maintain the trend? Is it sustainable? After the
Restaurants
trend is
and bars, no?
gone, what happens to you? What happens to the restaurant? Syempre, there's always something new coming up. You're not
Mm-hmm.
always going to be the fresh face in the market,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
the sustainability of a restaurant, that before I wanted to have a restaurant, but now I understand more. Naisip ko parang it's a dangerous game to play unless you have money to burn,
Yeah, I
right?
think that was some of the insights that were shared during the MasterChef bootcamp by the other classmates, diba?
Yes, yes,
Kasi
that's
most of them
also
had
important.
restaurants. Ay, parang we had this one student who said, "Oo, magbukas kayo ng restaurant dito." I think it was in Tagaytay or something. Tagaytay daw eh. "Oo, bukas kayo ng restaurant dito. Grabe, lakas, lakas, lakas. Events, lakas." And then nagbukas siya, mga restaurant. Never daw naging malakas. And that's the only time he started going around some of the restaurants. Not naman all. Some restaurants kasi talagang pinupuno. But not
Yeah.
everybody. It's not guaranteed that everyone will get full. And how funny, I remember his comment was like, ang galit ba sila sa atin? Bakit nila sinabi sa atin yun?"
Kawawa naman.
Oo, kasi
'Di ba?
the investment of a restaurant can be so expensive. And
And
so what I
maintaining it, your OpEx, because you have
oh
staff, you have
yes, yeah,
tax,
OPEX pa. No, but the
everything.
capital expense is expensive. And what I noticed is that the kids that go to the more expensive schools, which will not be named, or they go abroad, they end up spending more on the capex. It's quite crazy because they think that cooking has to, well, cooking is a standard naman talaga. And if you follow everything to spec, if you study in the US or in Europe, and then you open a restaurant here, it's mahal-mahal ng kusina mo. Ilang milyon na kusina pa lang. We have this
Oh my
one student,
gosh.
10 million kusina pa lang.
Really?
Yeah, her kitchen was more expensive than her entire everything else in the restaurant. It was
Wow.
also quite big, so it occupied a lot of space. And I think it. So we discussed that in class. Okay, if you're gonna put too much space where there is a cost, kasi it's a cost to run a kitchen, eh.
It is.
'Di ba? So when you're full and you're only full on Saturday, sometimes on a Sunday, you wish now you had more seats, but you don't. You don't have
Yes.
enough seats because ang laki-laki ng kusina mo. Pero yeah, I noticed that because I know that very well kasi I was once like that eh. Kasi ako,
And
sige, siyempre,
that I
nag-training ako
think
sa,
that's the first time I saw you.
yeah, nag-training kasi ako sa abroad, nag-aaral sa abroad. So parang I had this idea that a professional kitchen must be set up this way. And then, until I realized the cost implications were quite intense, no? And then yeah, so very different. So I applaud you for realizing that.
Thank
What
you.
is the no? But what is the money idea there when it comes to catering and events? Your OPEX and CAPEX are low, but then your earning potential is higher. Ganun ba yun? I mean, I'm asking what you think.
Yeah. Well, ideally, yes. Pero at the same time, we don't want to be barat naman with paying the staff, 'di ba?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
No, but
So,
what I'm saying is you don't have your aircon on if there's no guest. Because, for
yes.
example, if you're in a restaurant, you're paying premium rent.
Yes.
So
Oh my
Makati
gosh, of
BGC
course.
rent is what, 2-3 thousand per square meter. This is
Some months like
2025 rents.
200 plus a month.
More.
Yeah.
Diba? But you get foot traffic. So I guess it evens out. I hope it evens out.
It's
Pero
sometimes
pag
kasi
events,
there's food traffic, pero I have to get the door.
oh, okay. All right. We get the door. We'll continue. Thank you so
Continue.
much. We have to
Thank
thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, we'll continue part two. Bye.